And how about now? Are we good to go? Can you hear me now? Thumbs up, yes? All right. Let's try that again, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome back to Scalora DanceSport. Now, this year has been crazy. Now, we've heard it everywhere, we've heard it all around. Today, we will be speaking about the coronavirus. Now, we will be speaking with one of my biggest and greatest mentors, Miss Antoaneta Popova. Antoaneta is a WDSF Professional Division 10 times world champion representing Canada. She is originally from Bulgaria. This is her third time on Scalora DanceSport, so we are happy to welcome back Antoaneta Popova.
Hey everyone! Hi Ale, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm near the palm trees, as you can see, so I'm feeling good.
All right, all right. Can the viewers see everyone and can they hear as well? Is everything okay? Viewers, Miss Becky Hamrick is with us. Hello, Becky.
Becky!
Give us some feedback. How is it? Anto, can you hear me?
Yes, it's breaking a little bit,
A
but
little bit, yes. Let me see. Let's do this. Let me join in and join back. So, all right. Okay, there we go. I can see you now. All right. Can you hear me well, Anto?
I can hear you now. Pretty good, actually, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. How's your day, Anto, today?
Today has been a busy day. I started with some online classes. A good friend of mine, Steve from France, we used to compete together back in the day. And he's also attendance world champion. So he invited me. He has this amazing project that he's kind of giving back to all the dancers in France. And so he's inviting different teachers every week. And we're all doing like a 20-minute lecture. And it's amazing. It's for free. And he's been so incredible and supportive of his students and something to admire. So he invited me. And so this morning I started off strong, having this awesome teaching session and then had a couple Zoom classes. And here I am now.
Okay, very nice, very nice. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. So let's say March 2020, right? In the beginning of this
Right.
pandemic, what were your feelings? Were you scared? What were your initial thoughts?
So when it first started, okay, so first of all, beginning of March, I I was lucky enough and I went to Miami with one of my best friends from high school. So I went there, I escaped for exactly 4 days. I came back and 10 days later, Toronto was under lockdown. So my first thought was like, whoa, what is going on? Lockdown? We can't travel? We can do nothing? What's going on? I can't go to work. They started closing down everything, the stores, and obviously that's the first experience for me in my life, and for most of us in my generation, I guess. So it started getting really crazy because the stores got empty. So I will never forget how I walked into this huge store that is always loaded, everything inside, right? It's crazy. I'm going inside, it's empty, like empty shelves, nothing.
All the
And I'm
toilet
saying
paper is
really
gone,
nothing.
yes?
The
All the
only thing that
toilet
was
paper
left,
went first.
forget about the toilet paper. There was no pasta, there was no rice, there was no potatoes, nothing. Tomato sauce, I don't know. People went nuts on tomato sauce for some reason. So nothing,
Must have been
really
the
nothing
Italians
there,
in
empty.
Toronto.
I guess so. Strong Italian presence. So
No
that's when it
kidding, no
hit
kidding.
me. But that's when it really become real. And it was like, whoa, there's nothing to eat, you know? So I'm going there trying to get stuff. All I could get is some chips. And
Hmm.
so I was supposed to load up myself with chips for a couple of days just to see how it's gonna turn out. Because we couldn't leave, right? We couldn't go anywhere. So and at first was like, what is that? It's the unknown. You're unsure. You don't know what to do, how to act, to be scared, not to be scared. And at first, people didn't take it as serious, I guess. But for me, it really hit me when I saw the store emptied out. That was like, whoa, this is real.
Hmm.
Like,
Now,
people
I do
trying to get
remember
everything.
earlier. I remember earlier in the year, before that Canada went on lockdown, I remember you were sick, yes? So you had to stay home already for 2 weeks, didn't you?
I did. So I went to Miami. I came back. A week later, I got sick. And just as I was getting better and I was about to go back to work, they announced the lockdown. So I was in the lockdown for longer time. And because I wasn't sure what it was. I know I was sick. I don't know if it was the Rona. I don't know who was
Right,
it.
Miss Rona, Miss Rona.
Miss Rona, maybe it was her. I don't know who was that. But definitely I was like, whoa, okay. I gotta stay home for a longer time.
Right,
And
right. Now,
yeah.
during this heavy lockdown, that while you were staying home, I guess through the beginning and the middle, how did you keep busy? Now we see a painting behind you. Did you paint that?
I have painted bazillion of
So is that how you
paintings
managed
since
to keep
the
busy
lockdown.
during the lockdown?
I went through phases, okay? Phase
Oh,
number
tell us,
one.
tell us.
Okay, phase number one, I was very committed to get out of this lockdown because it was supposed to be 2 weeks or whatever. Then it was extended for another two
Right,
weeks,
right.
right? So first 2 weeks, I'm like, watch me. I'm gonna be in a better shape. I'm gonna have like the best diet. I'm gonna exercise. So I went crazy. The first 2 weeks, I was extremely productive. I had no time. When I was saying no, it's zero time. So I was like working out nonstop. Was doing videos and that kept me occupied really. And also taking pictures, and I had so much fun like talking to friends. So first 2 weeks was just weird, but it was kind of cool. And because everybody was home, so it felt like, okay, that's something, interesting. We're always together. At that time felt like it. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh yeah, we gotta extend it for another 2 weeks. It was like, okay, another 2 weeks of this. Okay, I guess I can do it. So then we started creating this online training classes for our students. So we started building up videos. So that kept me occupied really like most of my time. I was just shooting videos from my condo, which was really difficult. So trying to shoot myself, I live by myself and just arranging everything, creating space. So that was a challenge, but kept me occupied as well. So then summertime came in and it was a little bit more open. We were able to go back to the studio for a couple of months and to teach with a lot of restrictions. But it was a pretty good summer besides that, and the fact that you have to wear a mask everywhere. But other than that, it was pretty good summer. And so summertime was good. It was amazing. And then afterwards, I flew to Bulgaria to visit my family
Oh,
for
how
a
was
week.
that?
That was the worst trip of my life, flying wise.
Ah,
Like the
yeah.
flying experience was terrible. And I'll tell you why. I really hate having something in my face. And I had to wear the mask for 19 hours straight
Wow.
because I left home in the Uber, from the Uber, airport, another flight back to Bulgaria. Only when I stepped outside of the airport in Sofia, I was able to take it off for first time, and that was 19 hours later. So I thought that I was just gonna die. At one point, it was just really, really difficult. So I was hating on that. The trip itself, getting there, was hard because of that. But it felt very safe. They took good care of us. They were giving us all the sanitizer and everything. So I didn't really feel in danger. There was a lot of space. It was really comfortable. In Bulgaria, it was amazing because people don't live in fear and they just live their lives. They're still being safe, but they just don't have this
They don't
face
have
of
this fear,
fear.
this anxiety always around them.
Yes. So I felt like I'm living again a normal life, and it was amazing. Then I came back to Canada, and reality
And it's
kicked
like,
in.
here we go again. Right, here we
It
go
hit
again,
it hit
guys.
it hit me hard. So I came back 2 weeks exactly, like everything. You got a mask all over. Pretty much. Yeah. So coming here was like, oh, can't do nothing. Can't go anywhere, can't do this, can't do that. I was like, okay, what do I
Yeah,
do?
so many
Why do I
restrictions,
live
right?
here?
Now, you
So,
mentioned videos. Oh, I'm sorry, continue.
oh, it's okay. You said
So you
videos?
mentioned some videos. So talk to me. How did that go? Did you buy any new material? Did you have to buy like microphones? Because I know some people are really into this virtual stuff. They're buying lights, they're buying camera, they're buying TV screens. They're the whole big deal, the whole jazz.
Well, try to do as much as possible, right? Can't can't spend too much because now everything was very restricted.
Hmm.
But I did buy a bunch of lights and stands and this and that, and try to arrange it in a way that it's gonna work well for people, right? So finally, the videos were turning out pretty well, but doing it from home and not from a studio, of course, it was a challenge. So
Different atmosphere, different feeling, of course.
yeah, but the good news is everybody was at home, so people were understanding. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, yeah, you don't have the space for that, but we understand because we are in the same situation. So that was just lucky that we have great students that are very understanding and supportive. So thank you guys
Mhm.
for supporting our ventures and adventures.
Our virtual projects. Now,
Yes,
speaking about
exactly.
virtual projects, many adjudicators have been, or many coaches, many people in general have taken on many virtual events, from competitions to camps to match analysis. What are your thoughts on these now?
At first, I was fighting it.
What do you
Of
mean fighting it?
course,
Elaborate.
well, fighting it in the meaning that, okay, dancing is a very in presence, like in person, touchy kind of sport, right? And
Sure.
learning it online,
Mhm.
I felt that it was really challenging for many people, especially people that need to, be in person, like see you, touch you. Okay, that's how you do it. They need to feel it, right? So for people like that,
Of
it's
course, of
harder.
course.
So it really depends on
Mhm.
how you receive information, the type of person you are. But of course, you have to go with what's happening in the moment. So we had to do the videos, and I got used to it eventually. Now I'm really okay with it. I learned how to stand, how to, show so everybody can see. So you gotta spin like 360 basically to
Right,
show
right.
everything and
Every little
repeat it a
muscle.
zillion times. Yes, exactly. Because you say the right leg, they go with the left, and it's so confusing. I was like, go to your left. It's like, oh, they go completely the other side. It's like,
And
no, no,
they go
no, no,
right,
like your
right,
left.
right.
Yeah, they go right. I was like, oh my God, no, turn around.
In all
But
honesty, the whole online stuff virtually in the beginning it was really cool. I was impressed with like the amount of things that was going on with Pietro Braga with his coffee time show. I love that. That was amazing. With all the online lessons that were going on, just everybody's getting excited for online, and it's nice now. I mean, now at this point, it's a little bit. I mean, of course, we have to do it because we don't have another option. It's just kind of like the
yes,
motivation of it, the kind of yes, let's do an online competition is kind of like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
slowly going down.
Well, I gotta say, I did take some ballet classes online because people were going, like the Canadian National Ballet. They were going live, so I was like, okay, let me do
Oh,
this. So I was
nice.
taking some ballet classes. I obviously took classes with some of our teachers from Europe, some of my mentors.
Hmm.
So I was the one trying to improve myself during this pandemic, and that's the other thing I was gonna say. That was a great time to reflect and to really like look at yourself and how you can improve and develop yourself and be useful with the time that you have, make it work, like make it count. So I took a lot of classes myself. So that's what I would say. I was so busy. I was waking up, doing classes, filming, sending, doing some Zoom classes. So it was pretty busy. And
Yeah, that
of
was the good
course,
part
I
about the
appreciate how many
virtual.
people were doing it. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
The good part of the virtual for me was I was able to meet a lot of people because of the sense with the whole online. I know over the lockdown I did a group class with Miss Julie Fryer. I did group class with Mr. Paolo Bosco. I did group class with a bunch of people that I wouldn't have the chance to do it if I wasn't there in person. So that's one
Right.
thing I would say about the virtual camps. It's nice. Virtual lectures, in all honesty, I would prefer virtual lectures. Those were really nice. So the unity aspect of it, it gave me a possibility to meet people. So by meet people, virtually meet people. So that's one
Right.
part I did like about the situation. Now,
I
let's
agree.
talk about feelings and emotions 2 seconds. Now, how frustrated have you been with current situation, with this current situation, how it's been dealt with by our leaders, and how it is today from March?
Well, after I came back from Bulgaria in September, as I was saying, um, I basically started. Well, I had to quarantine for 2 weeks, so I did that, and then I went back to work for a month and a half. And that was pretty much the last time I was in a dance studio until now. So for that month and a half, things were still kind of okay. I was still okay. I was excited. I also decided to move to another condo, to another unit. So I was busy with searching for a new place, and because the prices were dropping, so I was like, okay, you know what? Let me take that chance and just switch to another unit, a little bigger for the same price. So this was a great moment for me. And after that happened, I ended up getting the virus, getting COVID. So I had to quarantine again. And
Again.
afterwards, again. So I've been quarantining on and on. I'm a quarantine queen, basically. Ask me all about
it. Not dancing queen, quarantine queen.
Quarantine queen. I'm really good at it. Yeah. So, and I'm gonna say, I feel like maybe late November, December, I got really depressed, like very depressed. And I'm a very happy person, very positive, but I got extremely depressed and I was like, what is going on? And then I started realizing, and it wasn't until late January that I realized it was going on for like a good month at least. I was depressed. And it was hard for me. I didn't even want to wake up. It was kind of like, oh, why do I even live? You know, there's no reason. Why am I doing this? And I realized that for us dancers, as I was saying, and I'm very like touchy person. So I need human presence. I need to be surrounded by people. I need to touch. I need to talk. I need to feel. I'm that kind of person. So for me, it was extremely hard for the past, like the beginning of winter, I would say. And I was like, it hit me hard, really. And I realized how bad the situation is when it comes to mental health. Because if myself, as a very strong, like mentally person, I consider myself at least, I am going crazy. And I'm thinking of all like young teenagers and kids and like people that are normally like not as stable. I wonder what are they going through? And I was like, wow, this is huge and it's so bad. And then I really started getting so frustrated with everything, really. And especially the way it's being handled in Canada. I think they're overly exaggerating everything. They're putting everyone through so much fear, including putting all these scary commercials during the Super Bowl. They put all this like dying grandparents in hospitals. That was the commercial during the
media,
Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, are you crazy? Like the kids are watching that, you know? So what kind of, you know, life are we living in? Like constant fear, constant fear. You gotta double your mask. You gotta triple your mask. You gotta do this. It's like really.
Yes, I heard about that double masking. Madonna mia.
Oh, now it's
so
triple.
that's oh, now triple.
Now it's triple. Yeah.
Oh, next month next 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we can dance.
8, exactly. There we go.
So my following question was going to be, how has this pandemic affected you mentally? How, as you were saying, the young ones, you as well, and as well as affecting you, how do you think we would recover mentally?
Honestly, I feel so bad for all the active dancers, you including, because I'm lucky. We have retired with Anton. So right now, for me, it's just concentrating on myself personally, making sure that I can survive and go out of this still being a normal human being, not being too affected by it. But for me, I am still okay. I realize what's happening. I can reevaluate the situations and trying to guide myself in a way that, okay, you're still alive. You still have a lot to be thankful for. So every day is a blessing. And that's how I live right now. Just every day is a blessing. I can see the sun. I can, you know, smell, because that's another thing with COVID, right? You can't smell. So I can smell.
Right, can't smell, can't taste.
Right. So I have all these things going on for me. So tons of blessings and a lot to be happy for. And that's when I started drawing. So I was like, you know what? Let me put all this frustration on the canvas. And I went
sort
back
of
to my art
therapy, yes?
It became my therapy, literally. So that's why I have been drawing like non-stop. I was making paintings one after another.
You see on your social media, we saw the Kobe Bryant, flowers,
Yes,
everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm on a can't stop how I feel right now. But definitely that's how I found my peace, right? It was just me rediscovering what I'm good at, rediscovering my passion,
Your
rediscovering
passion, your
myself.
loves.
So I think for each one of us, no matter how bad the situation is, we have to find what lights up our fire, what makes us excited to live, and try to do more of that. If you can't do that, do the second best thing you can do, because really there's no other way that we can go through this. And for dancers, great opportunity, as you were saying, just to get a lot of information from different coaches, because now everything is so available and at really good prices too. So just take as much as information you can and try to, not try to do everything, but try to understand what works for you, and maybe find
Right, right.
a style that really suits you better. Maybe during this year, you've discovered that, okay, I was doing the hip like that, but now I want to do it like this, and this works
This.
better for me, right? So I think that's a great period for all the dancers to kind of rediscover their passion and style of dancing, if you want to say. So there's some advantages of the situation too, right?
Yes, yes, I agree. Now, actually, you mentioned this a little bit briefly about you and Anton, which ties with my next question. Many of the many couples are quitting or splitting because of the COVID. So if you were still in that,
Huh. Okay, I got a little bit of freezing, so I'm not sure if you can hear me.
there we go. I can hear you now. Yes, all good.
Okay, I heard the
Hello?
question, so I'm just gonna
Ah,
answer.
okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Um, you know what? I think just what I was saying right now. It's basically just trying to get as much as information as possible. With the coaches that are overseas, especially because normally you have to fly to them or fly them to you. And as you were saying earlier, this was the perfect time to get in touch with these people and get as much as information possible, that normally wouldn't be available, wouldn't be possible. So I think that's what I would be doing personally. So would be doing this. I would try to um, improve my physical abilities. So probably a lot of stretching. And I was saying, like, maybe take different classes. Maybe take some Zumba, take some salsa, take some hip hop. Just try to be more versatile and learn more how you can use your body. I think that's the best time to do that, because we're always busy, right? We have no time to do this, no time to do that.
Mhm.
We're always
Right, right.
complaining, oh, I wish I had time to do more of,
Had more
things
time.
I
I
have
wish
to
I
do.
had more time.
Right. Now we have all the time in the world. So now is the time that we can explore different styles,
Different
different styles, and try
possibilities,
to.
different roads. Agreed.
Exactly. And yeah, some
Now,
couples that are splitting up, it's mostly because maybe one of the people in the couple, they found a different passion. Maybe now
mm,
all of a sudden she wants to sing. you know.
yes, yes, I agree. Now, one question we have from Miss Becky Hamrick: how did you find your way back to your very positive and motivated self?
Through art.
Elaborate. Tell us. What do you mean through art? Through painting, or
It's
the feelings and emotions you get through painting?
I think it's both, because I was so frustrated and I literally put that frustration on the canvas, and it just made me feel like a relief, like instant relief of pressure. And once that happened, once I made the first painting, I was like, whoa, I feel power. I feel energy, and I started all that frustration that I was building up from the inside. Now I can put it on the canvas and just kind of create art and create something beautiful instead. So I think what actually my mom taught me is always transform your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And I think that's the number one thing. And that itself, it's art. If you're able to transform your sadness, your frustration, like feeling down, all these emotions, if you're able to transform them into love and happiness and appreciation, then I think you're really on the right track of feeling good again. But it's something you have to do internally. You can't rely on
Inside
somebody else to do it
yourself,
for
your
you.
own
Yes,
emotions. You have
yes,
to dig deep down and
yes.
truly understand what it is.
Yep,
Mhm.
exactly. And that sometimes it's hard, especially for younger people, because they don't even know where that frustration is coming from. So finding the frustration, fighting that anger, like what triggers that anger? Is it the lockdown? Is it the fact that you can't go and drink coffee in the mall? Is it because you can't go to the ballroom? Like, what is it, right? And then
Mhm.
try to transform that. Okay, put that frustration into something else. Do a crazy cardio, put it all out there.
Mhm.
Move your body. And I gotta say, moving makes me happy. If I'm just sitting
Interesting.
all day long, I become sad and angry and like, oh, this world doesn't
Yes, I
exist
agree
to
with
me.
you. Yes, I'm the same way. I can't sit and just not do anything. I can sit maximum like an hour and a half in front of the TV. If it's more, I'm just like, I'm sick of this. What I had to do, I have to agree with you. For me, it wasn't painting. For me, I spent my quarantine in Alabama. So I had to graduate high school because I did one homeschool my last year of high school, and two, I had to find something to do. So the time, half of my day I spent doing schoolwork, which I finished like this, and my second half I needed, okay, what am I going to do? What is my passion? I mean, I'm dancing, of course, but I can't do it at the level I want to do it. So what is something
Right.
that I have passion for that I can do it on a high level? And I'm like, well, okay, let's see where I can take this Scalora DanceSport stuff, because Scalora DanceSport, I mean, it started out as like a little podcast on Spotify, and then it slowly grew. Actually, I think you were my first YouTube interview back last year. My first
Yeah.
YouTube video. Before that was only Spotify. And so I decided to. I want one day. I remember this day perfectly. Igor, if you're watching, I was eating a burrito. Okay, a Publix frozen burrito. I slammed it in the microwave. It's ready to eat, and I said, "Hmm, what if I make a video of a whole bunch of dancers letting us know how they're dealing with this pandemic?" Because at the time it was heavy pandemic. It was like if you
Yes.
step out of the house, you're caught. The cops are going to be at the place. So everyone's in
Yeah.
lockdown. So I was like, how can I make a video to make that happen? And so I hit up my buddy Igor Golovich, who has an amazing YouTube channel as well in New Jersey. And so I said, Igor, I have this idea. Let's work on it. Let's do something with it. And so actually, we talked about it a bit, and actually, he came up with the idea about having it to be different episodes, and we called it Dance Sports Day United. The initial thought, the first thought was to make like one huge videos with having like you, Anton, everybody, just make sort of a huge documentary. And so Igor had the great idea of turning it into like a documentary series.
Serious.
And I'm glad he did, because that kept me very busy. That kept me busy for about 6 to 7 months. We had many dancers. We had you, we had Becky, we had Claire, we had Pietro Braga, Kristina Moshenskaya. And I guess every time I edit videos, I mean, everyone feels passion for something different. So like having to explain why I have passion in editing videos, like that sounds crazy, like to have passion for editing a video, but like
No,
I
that
love
is important
that's what I
too.
like to do. So like the same way you like to paint, the same way people may sing, the same way people dance, like I love editing videos, and I love like getting the music just right, timed right with the audio, with the video. And so that's what kept me busy. That was that was my therapy. So if that was kind of the
Amazing.
way I was thinking
And you
about
guys
it. And
did
then
a phenomenal job with all the videos. It was
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
No,
It
it
was
was great. It was great to be part of it too. You guys did such a professional job. I was impressed with the quality of the videos. It was great. Really, really
thank you.
amazing.
Yeah, Igor, I love working with Igor. He's an amazing guy. But anyways, going back to the Panditty, let me ask you this question. How do you think the world and the dance world should move forward?
Good question.
Hmm.
I feel um,
Should
that's
we
gonna be
do 5,
interesting.
6, 7, 8 mask, or should we? Because I don't want to do 5, 6, 7, 8 mask.
No, me
I don't
neither.
want to do
Five, six,
that.
seven, eight. No,
I don't want to do
I don't want to do it
that.
either. I don't want to do that. I feel like everybody has, of course, different opinion on what's happening. Like me myself, personally, I've never really believed so much in medications and vaccines per se because I just grew up in that kind of environment that we just took a lot of care of like our health by like
Mhm.
natural stuff, like
Natural
having
stuff,
the
right, right.
right tea, vitamins, and just just eating proper and all these things and being active. I feel like active really helps your immune system. So for young people, of course, who are active and they feel safe and they feel good, I feel just carry on with your life and just stop thinking that you're going to die because you're already dead if you think like that.
Mhm.
If you're dead
Of course.
in your mind that okay, this is gonna happen to me, why do you even live? You shouldn't live in fear. That's my thing. Of course, I'm not saying not being safe. Yeah, it's two different things because people say it very. Some people are like, "Oh my God, no! You think that we should just go crazy?" I was like, no, I just say don't live in fear. Like live your life in a safe way. Follow certain instructions with like having the space, like being your bubble or whatever you have to do, like the social distance and stuff. It's just make sure that you don't harm anybody, but mainly don't harm yourself and your mentality. I think that's the main thing.
Mhm.
So
I
moving forward, I think we all need to heal, right? We have a lot of healing to do because everybody, I think, it's hurt in a different way. Somebody financially, somebody mentally, somebody health-wise. So everybody
mhm.
needs healing to do in a different way. So everybody needs to find what their healing is and find the path for that. But mentally, we all need to get better and stronger.
Agreed, agreed. Now, talking about dancers, recently, the last few days, they announced Becky, they announced the Senior 1 and Senior 2 World Championship. So talking about World
Ooh.
Championships, it's going to be interesting. What are your thoughts? It's going to be interesting to see who's gonna place, and because it'll show us who's. Sorry, I've got a fly. I got it. It's my ex. Anyways,
Good job.
it's going to be interesting to see who places who because then it'll be based on like who was disciplined enough to train or who had the opportunity, of course, to train at a studio. And if you did have that possibility, did you take advantage of it? So what are your thoughts? Are you ready to see like nationals and like the next competition just to see how people place?
Do you know what? It's funny. In Canada, the studios were closed. So nobody
They're
was
still closed?
practicing. They just reopened certain areas. So where I live, it's still shut down. Like we're not open. Nobody goes to the studio. So taking that into account, obviously nobody's ready to compete right now. At
Mhm.
least not here. You know. Now, if you're a studio owner and you have your own space and you're a dancer that owns the studio, I guess you go to the studio and do your thing because it's your place, I guess. But I'm sure that not many people are in that situation, right? So most of the studios are closed. Most of the students have not had the opportunity or the chance to be in the studio and practice. So even all the videos that we've done and all the Zoom classes we had, everything was whether you can do from home, not in the studio, right?
Mhm.
So I know that nobody in Canada is really in a perfect shape to go and compete at the Worlds. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I don't think that anybody was able to go full out and do the
Full
best
on
possible
to
training.
prepare for a world
Yeah,
championship. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I see
No.
a lot of people in Europe, like in Russia, people competing. Everybody looks great. Everybody's in shape. They've been training. I
Mm.
see. I have my friend in Iceland. She's been competing. She had competitions like every other week, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Meanwhile, here we can't even go to the dance studio.
Right, right.
So first championship is going to be unfair. That's what I'm going to say.
Unfair. I agree. I agree. You know what? That makes sense. It does make some sense.
It's
Yes.
going to be unfair. So whoever is the world champ, congrats, guys. But it's not fair. We're still stuck.
Ma, if you had the possibility during this pandemic to to move to the United States, would you take that possibility?
Yes, Florida, flying right now. Give me the ticket.
Miami.
Yes, exactly. I would be
Yeah,
there
so
in a heartbeat.
yeah, just to maybe, of course, teach because, like you said, the studio's been closed there. You haven't had much opportunity. So I would think the instinct would say, if I was in your situation, I have to go to the U.S. Does make sense. Now, you
I thought
mentioned
about it.
earlier, if in Canada, like for instance, where you are in Toronto, you can't teach. Would you be able to go to a different part of Canada to go teach?
Uh, yes, I think so. But again, not every region is closed. So the only one that was open was BC. So that's quite far again, right? And some people had problems traveling there. Some people did, some people didn't. I just didn't want to take the risk and just go there. And because I know how some people may react, like if you go from different province and try to teach, they may not feel very comfortable because, you know, we
Right.
had more cases. So it's, again, you're taking a chance. Like, do you really want to take a chance? And so I didn't go anywhere. Besides anything that was around me, all these regions, they were closed. So Quebec was closed.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah,
Now,
so trust me, I was in Miami in my head few times.
and it's in your head, in your head.
Yes.
Now, we noticed that you're based on social media. It looks like your partner Anton has been all over the world. What has he been up to?
He got so lucky because he traveled to Mexico, I believe around Christmas. He came back
Yeah,
right before New Year's.
yeah.
So he made it at the perfect time because right after he came back, they put this crazy restriction that if you come back here, you have to have the test. Then you come back, you have the test again. They take you to an isolation facility. Nobody knows where. People get lost. So he made it right before this thing happened, right? And you know, I had plans to travel as well, but the person that I was supposed to travel with was unable to do it at that time. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go like after the 7th of January. Guess what happens? January 7th, boom. If you want to
They
come back, you
closed.
gotta do this. They closed. So I was like, okay, that was not good.
Right, right.
So yeah, Anton had this great trip to the south right on time,
Nice,
and
nice,
I
right.
missed.
Well, as our buddy Anton says, remember, guys, it's not Anton has COVID. It's COVID has Anton. All right, guys. So if you ever have COVID, it's Anton. When you had COVID, it's
And you
not
know what?
Antoaneta had COVID.
Anton was the one who passed me the COVID, just for a record.
This
So
guy.
yes, it's his fault. It was his fault totally. I blame him about it.
Belyayev, if you're watching, gosh,
It was all him.
must.
Yeah. No, you know what happened? Like we were teaching at the studio on the weekend, and it was just him and I as teachers, and we both had our students, and we're keeping like safe distance. You know, we have the
Listen.
mask, so um, it was very strange because he calls me. I think it was on Monday. So we saw each other Saturday, Sunday. We talked together in like separate corners. Monday he calls me. He's like dead. He has no voice. He's like, it's like what? He goes, I'm a little sick. Like you have corona. Go and check yourself. So so Wednesday comes. Wednesday morning I wake up and I got a little bit of itchy throat, and that's it, right? So I was like, what is that? Thursday, he calls me. Thursday, they call me from the hospital saying that they're searching for Anton. They can't find him. I'm like, why are you calling me? I don't know where
Are
Anton
you
is.
his emergency contact?
I don't know what happened. They're calling me. I was like, I don't know where Anton is. But so I tried calling him, his mom, his girlfriend. I'm trying to get in touch with everybody. I was like, find Anton. They're searching for him. So it turns out he tested positive. So now next day I'm going to get tested, and I was fine. I was feeling fantastic, and my result. I was sure I don't have nothing because I felt great, and
Uh-huh.
my result came out also positive. I was like, oh my God. And I just finished. It was like, I don't know. I was so upset because the moment our isolation was done, they closed down the province. That kept
Oh
on
my
happening to
God.
me. I'm telling you. Every time I go somewhere, something happens, I stay in isolation. The moment I'm ready to go, I had one day and I was like, okay, I can go outside.
You can
No, you
go
can't anymore.
free.
You can't. You can't. So, oh, they've been playing games on my isolation.
They be playing with your emotions, ain't they?
They've been playing with my emotions big time. I was like, I'm ready to go. You gotta
Oh
stay home again.
yes.
So, oh,
These COVID
yeah.
test results got us feeling like we're on the Mari show. You do have the coronavirus.
And I had no
Uh,
symptoms. Like I was fine. I was fine. So I am very confident I didn't have it
mhm.
because I had zero symptoms and they were running the test. I'm not sure if you heard about that, but I guess how many cycles they run the test or whatever, it makes a doubt. So if it's over 35, but
Mhm.
like 90% of the test will come out positive. So they detect some sort of virus in you. And it doesn't need to be even coronavirus, like the COVID-19, could be any
Could
kind
be
of
anything.
um, that kind of family virus, and it's gonna be considered as a COVID. So I'm
That's
pretty sure
positive.
I didn't have it. I'm pretty sure it was a false positive for me, and I was just being, you know, isolated
Normal,
from
right,
everything.
right, right. I think I've taken the COVID test approximately 5 times. Every time I've turned out negative. Wow,
Good,
I don't know. Wow.
nice.
I don't know if I've had it. I don't know if I don't. All I know is I want to keep dancing, and
Yes.
I will either do it from my living room or I guess the ballroom. Well, before we finish out, where do you see the future for yourself? Do you see yourself? Well, I guess that's not really a question you can truly answer it with all this blockings in Canada. But where do you eventually? What can you tell us? What do you think?
Uh, well, there's a couple of ideas that I have, which I'm not going to share yet.
Okay, why?
Um,
Exclusive on Scalora DanceSport. Actually, Anton, when he was on the Marathon of International Champions, he says, guys, exclusively for the Scalora DanceSport, yesterday I tested positive for coronavirus. He came on and just, that was his big announcement. He texted me previously the day before. He goes, Ale, I have huge news for tomorrow. And I'm like, what is it? No, I'm going to save it for the show. I'm going to save it. I have tested positive for corona. Okay.
Huge
But anyways,
announcement.
yes, you were saying.
Well, for me, I've discovered that art was a big part of my life that I kind of neglected. So happy to say that I made a big comeback into it now, and I do want to spend more time in it, and I want to push it and take it to another level. So building up my website for my art, which I'm very, very excited for. So been trying to, really put my time and effort into it and to become better as an artist. So which I'm really thankful for all the people that have supported me so far and buying paintings, and you're one of them. So yours is on the way. It's actually is over there. I'm working on it.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
So art, number one. Number two, I have some ideas for dancing and dancing in Canada in general. And I do want to be part of making it better and improving it. And I miss you too, Fiore. And I'm definitely excited for new beginnings. And
Mhm.
certain new beginnings will happen perhaps very soon. And when that happens, I'll make a big announcement. So just
Awesome,
excited
awesome.
for
Well,
the
we'll make sure
future.
to be looking out for it. All right. Well, as
Yes.
we end, let's finish off with hashtag no 5678 mask. Please no hashtag
I love it.
5678 mask, guys. So, all right. So, thank you, Antoaneta, for joining me today. And I
Thank
hope
you,
you do
Alex. Thank you
have
for having
a
me.
great time, great few days. You enjoy your therapy through art. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to have my painting, guys. I will be taking
Coming up.
pictures of this painting as soon as I get it. Becky, thank you so much for staying tuned online, and thank you so much, Tonya.
Thank you. I love you. Mwah. Thanks for having me.
See you next time, guys. Bye.